All right, well, in 1971, in his early 20s, Walter Miller of North Carolina found himself in prison for armed robbery. 6 years into a 30-year sentence, he escaped, fled to New York, and created a new life for himself. He renamed himself Bobby Love, met and married Cheryl, and built a wonderful life. 40 years and 4 kids later in 2015, his past caught up with him, and he went back to jail for a year. In their book, The Redemption of Bobby Love, Cheryl and Bobby talk about secrets, betrayal, and forgiveness. It's been almost 7 years since that day when the police and the FBI came in, changing your lives. Yeah. How is life, Bobby, without secrets these days, knowing that there's nothing behind you coming to get you?
Oh, I feel much more relaxed. I don't have a problem walking down the street.
Yeah, I cannot imagine what it was like living with that for so many years. I mean, it really must have just weighed on you.
Yes, it did. I was very careful with, where I would go and people I would be around. And I just didn't want it to just come out, boom, and yeah. I paid attention to a lot of things more than I do now, especially when our police were around.
Cheryl, at one point you say you never hated Bobby. Some would be amazed by that, or not at least be a little bit irked that this all of a sudden was part of your life. Uh-huh. But you were still hurt, though. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah. I had to come to reality that this man that I've been married to, he deceived me for all these years. I had to come to a realization. Are you going to stay with him? Are you going to leave? What are you going to do? But I started to think. I had to weigh everything out. I weighed everything. I thought about how Bobby worked those 2 and 3 jobs. I thought about, we had our ups and downs, yes, but he still desired to be here with me. At the time I felt it was something that was going on, but I didn't know what. But just is with things that I thought odd. Like he didn't like to take pictures. I said, come on, take a picture. I had to beg him to take a picture. Then he would do it, He really didn't want to. But I said, some people like pictures, some people don't. So I let that go.
Bobby, when the arrest came, what was harder, having to face your past or knowing that your family was hurting in the present?
It was my family hurting. When that day came, I was devastated. I couldn't think. I couldn't do anything right at that time, during the time that we were still here in the house. And the solace was when I got in the car with the FBI agent and he started to talk to me and tell me things as to how this all came about, me being arrested. It kind of gave me somewhat of a relief, but I knew I was going back to jail. That's the part that I hated. I've been to jail before, but my God, now after 30-some years later, I know that I'm gonna have to explain a lot to Cheryl also. The first time we get an opportunity to talk, and my thoughts were, Cheryl, I will do what you need me to do, to get over this and work with this, and hopefully we can stay together. It was.
Yeah. Cheryl, you had said at first, which is understandable, it was probably embarrassing, people knowing your husband was in prison, saying, well, how did you not know? I mean, how did you get through that? Because I can imagine a lot of people being like, you didn't know, but you truly didn't. What did you say to people when they would say that?
Right. I said, I tell them the truth. I'm like, no, I remember going to work and the day after it came out in the newspaper, and I went up to work and everything, and I said, I know you guys know what's going on. I said, so I don't need you to run from me, reject me. Come talk to me. If you have questions, come and ask me. I said, I need hugs more than you running from me. But
Bobby, you had work to do. You had a lot of work to do to forgive yourself, asking others to forgive you. That is a huge piece of humble pie. How did you get through that?
Well, it started with prayer. From my journey with God, it wasn't as strong as it is now. But the next day, Cheryl came to see me, and I told her I wouldn't be surprised if she started divorce proceedings, you know. So I was apologizing and I was trying to say things, you know, that, I don't know, make her life a little bit better. Because I know I'm going to be there at Rikers Island for a minute, you know. I know that, you know, to expedite me down to North Carolina, it's going to come. But, you know, in the interim, you know, the kids were, you know, they said, you know, Dad, we're going to be with you. We're going to be with you, you know. And for a while there also.
I have to imagine, though, it's changed some things in the marriage. I have to imagine maybe there's something that all of us married couples can learn from something like this.
I tell you, we oh my goodness, our communication is way better. We talk things out. We don't try to hold it in, and if we can't talk it out right then, we say, okay, we're coming back to it. Don't think we're gonna come back to it, but we have better communication now. We do more things together.
And now Bobby lets you take all the pictures?
Right. I don't have to.
Matter of fact, the other day, my phone popped up saying that I don't have any more space.
Oh, don't you think we can learn a lot from Cheryl and Bobby? So great.